Hey YouTube, it's that dude named Dave and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started here, we gotta do the price of admission. I ain't charging you for these videos here, so just like, subscribe, and click on the bell notification below. I see you guys are watching, but you guys are not subbed. So let me help you by helping me out. Give you guys a few seconds to do that. See, a few seconds. I'm not here for the long intros. So in today's video, we're coming back to Kevin Samuels. And in this video, a woman called in and the conversation was regarding generalizations and if they're true or not. Also talking about math and making the numbers work right. So let's get to the video. We're gonna let Kevin cook and we're gonna try to make this make sense.
Thank you. I feel like some of the arguments that you make are unfair, mostly because you blame women a lot for the state of the dating market today, and I think that
give me an example of what you're talking about.
Saying that women today are not ready to be wives, I think is not fair.
Based upon what?
Based upon, I understand that there's a sector of women who aren't ready to be married, but I think that making that general statement is not fair toward women.
Oh, okay, first off, are generalizations fair?
No.
Oh, bullshit.
Well,
bullshit. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Bullshit. Generalizations are fair.
Okay. I'll concede to that.
All right.
Concede it fast.
So saying that women are not ready to be wives, based upon what?
Again, saying that they don't understand submission and being feminine and all of that.
What percentage of women would you say are ready to be wives?
I would say probably like 20%.
What?
Ma'am, 20% out of 100% out of 100%. If 80% are not, that means you just made my freaking point.
Let me pause here. You see, you let people talk long enough and they're going to answer their own question, let alone if they disagree with you, they're not going to disagree with you in the end because she didn't agree with generalizations. He asked a quick, simple question and she gave the number of 20% of women ready to be married. So out of your own mouth, if you feel that 20% are not ready, then you actually agree with Kevin and you called it saying that you didn't agree with him. See that here? All you gotta do is just wait, listen, and then ask a question. And for people who are not ready or prepared, who disagree with you, be surprised that they actually agree with you and they're all in their feelings. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, but
no. Let's before we move, let's acknowledge the math. You can't. The math ain't mathing. You said that you're making an unfair generalization. Then I asked you if you thought generalizations are fair. You said no, and then we had to go acknowledge the fact that it's bullshit. If the majority of something is true, it doesn't have to be 100%. 51% will do. That's.
Let me pause here. I did that on purpose. People hate my pausing. But still, 51% is a generalization of the majority. If you go 50-50, you literally have half on one side and half on the other side. Soon as you go 51 and above, generalizations are accurate because now you have the majority. Keep that in mind when someone wants to argue about that here. Make the math and numbers work, okay? Back to the video.
The majority. The presidency is decided by that little of a margin, okay? That's how the world works. And then I'm asking you, the person that says, I make the unfair generalization about a group of women, you tell me that 20% of said women are ready to be wives. That means you agree with me.
okay, but also I would say,
does the math support my logic?
yeah, okay.
So,
I'll agree with you on that point, yes.
Okay.
But I also would caveat that with the fact that most men aren't ready to be husbands either.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
no. Oh, boy. Really? You did this?
Okay, and
Doesn't matter. Men have longer to wait. Men have longer lives.
I'm pausing again. I hate when people do this type of argument. She came on and the basis is about women, but then you move the goalposts and say, well, men are not ready either. That was not the question. That was not the discussion while you hopped on. I can't stand when people, when you want to debate, have a good conversation, and then they move the goalposts. Had a guy in my comments section today, as I'm recording this here, want to talk about Kevin Samuels and about his debt and things of that nature. And I want to say is, what does that have to do with dating or the video here? Moving the goalposts because you're in your feelings and you feel some type of way, and so you want to make your point by driving that here. No, we're not going to do that here. Make people stay on code. Makes people stay in the conversation. Do not let people move the goalposts. Back to the video.
See, what you've just proven is you're arguing in bad faith. You don't like the facts. And then it's, I know you are, but what am I?
Yep.
So what? If men aren't ready, all men have to be ready for is what percentage of women? All 100% of men have to be ready for is what percent of women?
For the 20%.
Thank you. So.
Okay.
Is it that I'm unfair?
Well, it's just the way that the arguments are framed, saying that.
They're framed in logic. They're framed in statistics, data, facts, observable reality, things you can go see for yourself.
But you run under the assumption that all the men are out here looking for wives.
I don't labor under any assumption. I said that we don't have enough wives for men who want to be husbands. And you just said 20% of women. Don't tell me what I did when you tell me 2 out of 10 are ready.
Okay, I would argue that 2 out of 10 men are ready to be husbands.
I don't care.
Oh boy.
It doesn't matter. See, it's one of these things of, well, women aren't ready, but the men aren't either. That's how they've learned how to argue.
And that's not proper argument.
All right, but is a woman at 25 and a man?
Wait, before he gets to this point here, I just have to stop there because I hate that point. And you want to know something? This happens especially with my black people when it comes to crime. And I want to put this out here because the what if, well, he did this or she did. So no, we cannot debate and argue that way. Like the example, if a white person commits a crime and then if a black person commits a crime, and we know that stats show that black people get harsher sentences and things of that nature. But if we know what's wrong and we know that this can get us in trouble, why do it? And then you say, well, you know, this person got away with it. So no, it doesn't work that way. This is a deeper discussion that I'm adding here, but it's the what if that I've been dealing with here. Don't do the what if here. Stay on the conversation and on the topic. Just because someone else does something doesn't mean that you can do it. Back to the video.
Man at 25, do they have the same market value?
No.
Oh, okay. Whose market value is higher?
For the dating market or marriage?
The sexual marketplace. A 21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man. Who has the higher sexual marketplace value?
Good question.
The woman.
25-year-old man and 25-year-old woman. Who has the higher sexual marketplace value?
The woman again.
A 30-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
A man.
The 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman. Who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The man.
And as I keep going in 5-year increments, will women ever overtake a man's sexual marketplace value?
Not in the long term, no.
No. Will it grow at a steady rate, or will it get exponentially larger? Meaning a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, will they have the same difference between them as a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, or will it be greater?
It'd be greater.
Thank you. So by math, you've just said women have roughly a 10-year period before their value dips below men. So it doesn't matter if men aren't ready. Men have a fucking lifetime. Women got 10 years.
Okay, that's actually one of the points I agree with you. One of the few
But
points.
that's at the basis
What?
of all my arguments.
But sorry,
my God.
I don't mean to change the subject, but
But before we're not going to change the
See
subject.
that?
We can move. We can ask another question. But you gotta admit that
Stay on it.
there is nothing that you made in your initial statement that lines up with the facts of what I just said.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
So, can you honestly say you listen to what I say in good faith?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Well, then if
do.
you did, ma'am, then you would have listened to those facts, those numbers. I don't just say stuff to be saying it,
Okay.
but just
And on that notion here, I'm pausing the video because what's going to happen is she did not want to stay on. She had more questions. Okay. And I wanted to focus on this part of the interview because I want to hit on numbers and generalizations. Okay. So that last part here, I want everybody to, if you need to rewind that or check that out here, and we need everybody to understand that here, as far as the sexual marketplace between a 21-year-old man and a 21-year-old woman. She answered correctly. A woman at 21 is going to be more high value, is going to have a higher marketplace than a 21-year-old man. We know this. 25, same thing. The woman's going to be in favor. But when we get to 30, what do we see here? That's when the marketplaces start going down for women. When we start talking about the wall, okay? Because we know, of course, we talk about how high-risk pregnancy or geriatric pregnancy starts at 35. So we want to make sure that we're having debates. We're having conversations. We want to be good faith. We don't want to be disingenuous. And what do we want to understand? That women only have a finite amount of time in their dating prime to actually secure and get their man. Now, of course, there are outliers. We know that there are certain women who are very beautiful and that they can get what they want in their 30s. We know that though. But those are the outliers that get into multiple marriages that bring all the numbers down for other women when we talk about 26% of black women actually do get married. So we want to point out that if we're talking to anybody, don't let them move the goalposts. Stay on code. Stay with the numbers here. They make sense, and then we're not going to let you just go forward and do something else here and change the conversation here. So you see what she did here? And then after he broke that down, what did she say? I actually do agree with that. So don't allow someone to change the conversation because you keep them there. In actuality, they probably do agree with you. What happens here, what we have with Kevin Samuels is they don't like his tone. They don't like his delivery. They don't like the way he comes off. It's not sugar and furry and it feels all nice and sunshines, all right? It's hard, it's cold, it's direct, and it's calculated. So with that and generalizations, keep them on par and use these when we have our discussions here. So am I off base here? Is Kevin Samuels off base here? Did you hear what she said here? And then the fact that she agreed with him? I want to hear what you guys got to say here in this video. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the bell notification below. Let me know because I got trolls in the comments here. So I want to see a tribe here who's actually watching the videos, not moving the conversation. But until next time, I'm that dude named Dave. See you guys later, YouTube world.